Good morning. Welcome back to another stock market open. We've got ourselves, a little bit of red. We've got India here. Let's see here. Global bonds and stocks fall as inflation fears mount. Going back to the good old inflation fears. It seems like we always circle back to this. This year has been such a crazy, crazy year for being concerned about inflation. It just seems like since February, even though we knew it was coming since February, it's just constantly inflation, inflation, inflation. But hey, you know what? That's the way we get deals in this stock market. So let's take a look at how the indices are doing, and then we'll look at individual stocks and crypto. See if crypto's moving. Let's see what we got over here. So on CNBC, it looks like everything's down about 0.5%. Dow Jones down 0.55, S&P down 0.57, NASDAQ down 0.52. If we grab those bonds, look at that US 10-year right back to 1.61, almost there 1.62%, knocking on those recent high or sort of the door of the recent highs. If we go out here to, let's see, this is the year chart. We can see over here we were at 1.7, 1.75 range. We did recently hit a high of also about 1.62, and that's roughly where we sit now. Did have an intraday high of 1.65, so we're still a little bit shy of that. All right, so look at this. First Bitcoin futures ETF. This is the futures ETF to make its debut on the New York Stock Exchange on Tuesday. Nice. That should be pretty bullish for Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and take a look at CoinMarketCap here. So we have Bitcoin actually rotating down a little bit on the news. Could be a buy the rumor, sell the news. Sitting at 60,412 with Ethereum at 3414 and Cardano at 211. All of them slightly depressed here. So, all right, let's see here how the individual stocks are doing and what's causing some of the fears. I'm going to quickly also take a look at this here. We've got our Bloom Terminal mentioning that Apple is among one of the biggest pre-market decliners, while Tesla advanced with crypto and mining stocks. Well, I think crypto's kind of slowed down a little bit. Consumer and retail shares led a drop in the Europe's stock 600, with the luxury companies slipping on concerns about China's tax legislation. Shares in Asia were mixed as China's economy slowed in the third quarter. Global bond sell-off gathered pace, with UK yields surging after the Bank of England warned on the need to respond to price pressures. Ooh, price pressures, inflation. All right, let's go take a look at individual stocks and what else is going on in the markets. All right, hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Okay, so let's start with the loser so far today. Take a look at Zillow. Zillow absolutely getting destroyed by about 8.6% as the company pauses purchasing properties anymore. What's up with that? That's what they do. They don't take any more properties because they say they have too many of them. They can't get enough labor to support fixing up all of the ones that they have, plus more. So they're pausing. While at the same time, we've got Upstart dropping 5.6%, which, quite frankly, for a stock that's just been on a tear, is doesn't feel like it's anything but a little bit of a speed bump. Let's see if there's any particular news here. Yeah, Bank of America Securities cut Upstart to underperform from neutral and received a price target of $300 for Upstart. That's your big news on Upstart today, driving Upstart down. Ocugen's just been having a little bit of a rough time since their COVID drug was considered for, it's called Covaxin, was considered in India. I had a nice little pump on that, but not much excitement to last around Covaxin. Yeah, and you did also get a lot of momentum moving into it, so it's possible we're getting some momentum moving out of Ocugen. So not a lot of news around this. Hot A mining was up to around 1250, I want to say, in the pre-market. Certainly well over 12. Now it's sitting at 1185 as Bitcoin's fallen again. Heavily moves, of course, with the price of Bitcoin as a Bitcoin miner. And Matterport's down 1%, 1868. Very nice, very nice. SoFi down 0.93, little mini buying ops. Although then again, SoFi at 19 plus. I don't know how excited I am about it. Affirm's dropping down about 0.75%, sitting at 145, right there with Square. I like seeing it trade with Square. To me, that's it's usually a good sign when we just have a link there. Less of a concern about an individual stock issue and more of just an overall sectoral issue. All right, cannabis ETF, very good food. What do we got over here? Owlet 2%, Camber Energy 5%, Fuel Cell 5%, Hippo 138, Dave and Buster's coming up percent. Look at that, Tesla sitting at 850 even, up 0.86%. It's getting exciting going into earnings here. Facebook's up 0.87%. Peloton, let's see here. Peloton up 0.69. DQ Energy, that one's been doing pretty well. Starting to rotate up. Corsair Gaming up 0.25%. AMC up 0.22. CRISPR up 0.14. And Wayfair up 0.1. All right. So let's take a look and see what's causing some of these movements in the market today. And see if we can get a little bit more of an understanding. So let's see. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay, so Zillow tumbles after it stops buying homes. Yeah, we saw that. That's odd. I'm just surprised that they wouldn't just be a little bit more discriminatory. Like what I would do is I would just give rougher pricing, like, hey, sorry, this is all we could pay right now. Take it or leave it kind of thing. I mean, there's still deals you should be able to pick up. So it's surprising to me that they're just stopping everything. Fed staff says Wall Street is getting inflation call all wrong. Let's see here. Fed staff says Wall Street is getting inflation all wrong. All right. Federal Reserve's army of more than 400 PhD economists has a message on inflation for policymakers and the American public. Chill out. Do we believe them? Do we believe them? Nah. While some officials are publicly anxious about rising prices and Wall Street has ramped up its forecast, the Fed staff in Washington predicts inflation will be back under 2% in 2022, according to the minutes of last month's FOMC. As well as the FOMC's long-term target of 2%, it's less than half of the 4.3% pace the Fed's preferred measure of price pressures recorded in the year through August. That would be the PCE. We haven't gotten the PCE yet for September. You usually end up getting that towards the end of the month. It's the personal consumption expenditures. But anyway, Claudia Sham, a former Fed economist and senior fellow, says you should take it seriously, but it doesn't mean it's right. You have the top forecasters in the world. It's like they're trying to shill the Fed. We'll see. Staff forecasts a year ago anticipated inflation would pick up from levels at that time around 1.3%, but not the leap that in fact happened. Even so, Fed forecasts have regularly bettered Wall Street consensus forecasts. All right. Well, we'll see how things go. What Bloomberg economics says. All right. With regard to their sub 2% forecast for next year, I think that's plausible, but they would have to hasten to a full appreciation for just how wide confidence intervals are around any inflation forecast. Head of the Fed's Research and Statistics Division. Yeah, he sold out too. No, I'm kidding. Anyone making predictions would do well to discard the committee forecast in favor of the staff and should put little or negative weight on the commercial forecast. Okay. Fed staff forecast more accurate than private forecast. Interesting. While the Fed doesn't identify who's behind its forecast, the staff haven't shied away from making out of the consensus calls. Let's see here. Inflation expectations are a critical tool in assessing the inflation outlook. Yeah, was wrong, says Jeremy Rudd, one of the staff members. I always find it's interesting that how inflation expectations could potentially lead to inflation. But anyway, we're dealing with the subatomic particles of data that are out there. We can sift through the incoming data in a way that no Wall Street shop can do it because they don't have enough people. Okay, and that's what they ended on. I don't know. Does anybody believe them? We'll see. Amazon plans to hire 150,000 for. Oh my gosh, this is bullish on a firm right here, folks. Oh my goodness. Let's get this ad out of here. This, in my opinion, very bullish on a firm. Amazon plans to hire 150,000 for the holidays, 50% more than in 2020. 50% more than in 2020. In 2020, we had stimulus money. Yes, money. And now we're hiring people like crazy at Amazon, looks like. World's largest online retailer typically hires legions of temporary workers. Since the pandemic supercharged online shopping last year, Amazon has been rapidly expanding its logistics operation, opening warehouses, urban delivery depots. Wow. Look at this, at a pace of roughly one per day. In September, the company said it already had opened 250 logistics facilities in 2021, and with an additional 100 that month alone. Wow. Average starting pay $18, fierce competition for entry-level workers. Gosh, if you were just getting started now, go work for Amazon. If you're working minimum wage, drop that crap and go work for Amazon. And then work for something better after that season ends. But or see if you can get a perm job. But wow. All right, let's see here. Down is still up for foreign investors piling into China. All right. Yeah, why you're probably better off buying Bitcoin than Bitcoin futures. I mean, just from that headline, I agree. Okay, let's take a look over back at the sticks here. Let's see what kind of movement we have. Tesla still sitting at 850 in the pre-market. Facebook at 327, and let's see what they got over here. Hold on a sec. What's this exclusive talk?
Person as well for the first time in a while.
It's nice to be here in person.
It's a good morning to have you. I'd love to just start off on the commodity itself, that at least being oil.
On oil, yeah, I don't know how excited we are about it. Do we hit 85 yet? Let me pull it up.
Are you surprised at all by the move that's taken place over these last few months?
Well, you have to step back and think about how oil prices are set. They're set in a global market. Typically, supply and demand are both big numbers, about 100 million barrels a day, and they move slowly. And so any differences tend to go into or out of storage. And
look at that, 85.47. We broke 85 on the Brent.
Is demand collapsed? Supply can't adjust that fast, and so tanks filled up to a point where prices actually went negative.
Right. They went negative for a period of time there, of course. That was the spring of 2020, something we've never seen.
They were very low for a long period of time, and producers adjust. They cut production, they cut capital spending. Now we're seeing demand come back strongly in, frankly, every sector of the economy except international air travel. And we still see supply responding more slowly. So I think the market's concerned that that supply won't necessarily keep up with the strength we're seeing in demand. And I think that results in this view that there needs to be a stronger price.
This will hang in there. Well, one of the themes we've discussed many mornings, of course, Jim and Carl and I, is the fact that many producers don't seem intent on putting a lot more money into development right now as they do returning it to shareholders, allocating capital instead to buybacks and or even dividends as opposed to spending. Is that appropriate for this environment?
Well, I think there's a couple of things that have changed that really do affect the rate of reinvestment. One is government policy, and we certainly see policies that have discouraged future fossil fuel development. And then we also have seen messaging from investors that they prefer a return of cash, certainly in the exploration production sector.
Investors suggest they want a return of cash? Nah. All right, let's pull off oil here. We got about 15 minutes to the opening here. Bitcoin sitting at 60,340, Ethereum 3716, Cardano 212. Cardano has been trading sideways for like a month. Look at the Ethereum chart here. We'll go to the 7-day. A little bit down on the last 4 days here. Not as low as we have been as of about a week ago. when we did drop to about 34, 33, sitting at 30. What are we at? 722 right now. Intraday getting to roughly a low on the intraday. Let's go ahead and hop on over here to the hour chart. Here's the hour candlestick on Ethereum. Gives you a little bit of an idea. All right, so Tesla's still sitting at 850. It's holding. It's holding on to that green. AMC is pretty much flat. Matterport's down about 1%. Zillow's the one that's getting wrecked. But it really makes sense. I mean, Zillow says, hey, one of our biggest activities is something that we're going to pause doing. It's not a surprise. Disney being down 2.24% is kind of interesting. Makes me wonder if there's news for Disney. Upstart, of course, got downgraded. We saw Open Door, Redfin would make sense that they're going down a little bit as well. But honestly, like that might just be the market fearful about them stopping purchases, but it should be an opportunity for them to make more money. Less competition in the market. All right, let's see what else we have here. All right, get some more insights into this madness. All right. So Bitcoin future ETF is coming. Stock market slips. China growth disappoints. And we get numbers today. Let's see. Oh, look. We got ourselves a weenie baby. Mr. Barry Brown says he's sad about my green hair, and then therefore he's canceling his subscription. Oh, he's so mad about the green hair that he doesn't want a green name anymore. Bye. Don't care. Dow slips, Bitcoin surges, and what else is happening in the stock market? All right, well, let's see what Barron seems to think. Chinese GDP. Okay, Chinese GDP expanded by 4.9% year over year in the third quarter, while industrial production for September rose 3.1%. Both measures fell short of expectations. Yeah, that is a little slow for China. Manufacturing was hit hard by supply chain disruptions due to COVID. Yeah, that is an expectation. 10-year Treasury yield rose 1.6%. Yeah, we saw this. Okay, so a little bit of a miss on Chinese growth. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that China's slowing down a little bit, especially with the whole Evergrande crisis. I mean, really, China's slowing down? Come on. Like, is that our catalyst now? Yeah. Boomer Berry, that's a good one. The chat little thing here is all different. Hold on a second. I'm going to put up a comment for a sec just so I can change it. Where's the setting? Minimal. No, that's too small. Bubble. I like bubble. Block's not bad either. Let's try block for a while. I haven't done that one in a while. All right. Come on. Let's get some more news here. So I'm going to try the top on the term. Let me see what they put up over here. U.S. industrial production just fell. Okay. So we just got September industrial production fell 1.3% month after falling 0.1% in August. So 1.3% is a little bit more than expected. Capacity fell to 75.2% from 76.2%, revised down. Factory production fell 0.7% in September. Utilities fell 3.6% in September, and mining fell 2.3%. So I wonder if a lot of the September data is potentially rotating down because of the Delta variant, which is so weird. It's so weird to think about this fear over COVID cases, because COVID cases have really been plummeting. But you still have these lagging reports coming in, a lot of these lagging reports coming in about really September data, which is, in my opinion, highly weighed down by the Delta variant. And you jump over here into COVID cases, And I mean, look at the COVID case counts. They're just plummeting, which is wonderful. I mean, this is phenomenal to see. We really see that peak that happened here. And we didn't get that UK shelf we were worried about. The UK shelf, by the way, let me just show it to you here. So this is the, yeah. See, look, this is the UK shelf where you hit this peak, you fell, but then you've shelved. And they can't get this down. The United Kingdom, and they have a way higher vax rate than the United States. I think they have, what was the last stat? The last read as of last month was something like 88% of their adult population is double vaxxed, and we were somewhere around 68 to 70%. So they have a way, better vax rate. But apparently that's actually not helping their COVID transmission spread. Anyway, all right. Interesting. So what else we got here? Gosh, Tesla's moving towards 1% up. It's now up 0.91, almost at 851. This is while the broader market's red. How's Apple doing? AAPL. Let's grab Apple here. So somebody asked about my thoughts on Lemonade long term. Yeah, Apple's down 0.3. Pretty excited about Lemonade long term. Problem is, and anytime I talk about them, I always want to stress that they really are attracting poor millennials to convert them over to the insurance biz. And interesting. Larissa, thank you very much for saying that. Interesting. Larissa says, I'm from the United Kingdom, and those numbers are so high because of kids getting it at school. The age range of positive cases right now is 10 to 19. Wow. I want to see if we can break these down, even in the United States, by chart or by age. COVID cases by age, United States. But yeah, anyway, I do feel that. Let's go to the CDCs. Lemonade's really one of those very, very long-term plays, and so I'm in it for the long term. Just because you're waiting for the markets to see, oh my gosh, they're really good at getting millennials to transition over. Yeah. Anyway, does anybody have a good website we can track COVID cases by age on in the United States? I mean, I'm going to try United Kingdom now. Let's see. Latest insights. I don't know who the ONSGov is. Office of National Statistics. Okay, that sounds good. So, do we have any breakdown here? No particular charts here on age. I suppose these are things we could probably pick up in articles, though. But anyway, your world in data. Okay, your world in data. COVID cases, age. Our world in data. Your world in data or our world in data? Oh my goodness. Oh, this is interesting. Cases. Oh, I've seen this before. Okay. All right. Can we get this by age? Confirmed cases. Ooh, not so easily. Nah. I'll explore it. I'll explore it and circle back. That's not so important for me to go hunting for this right now because we got a market open coming. We got to see what's happening here. So we saw industrial production fall in the U.S. in September. We see slowing growth in China. Again, not a horrible surprise. Things are slowing down in China. Let's see what's in the live blog. Okay, let's see. Copper to gold ratio. Copper has become more expensive relative to gold, and that has an interesting read for inflation or for rate expectations. Longer dated U.S. rates may have further decline based on the indicator. Wow. The direction of travel in the ratio between the metal has an uncanny relationship with yields. In fact, the correlation between the ratio and yields was statistically significant. Okay, interesting. So in other words, as gold is not moving up as high as copper, we can increase our expectations potentially for rates to go up even more. Oil also, quote, looks set to enjoy a bullish run for a long time. Ooh. Yeah, so both of those things, oil going up and rates going up, are going to make people feel a little bit more fearful on the market. That is definitely an expectation. So the energy crunch isn't likely to ease anytime soon. That makes the bullish case for oil that much more alluring into the year end. Ooh. As global economies struggle to shift from old energy to new, the use of oil for heating has helped offset reduced demand that was originally brought up by the Delta variant. Now, oil inventory, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. What else? Push higher in UK short end rates continues. Climate takes a back seat as oil crisis multiplies. Inflation fears stir some interesting moves. Well, I want to know what these interesting moves are. All right. Inflation is one of those drivers that is a convenient scapegoat when the overnight equity price action is poor. But in this case, it looks like the culpability is actually true. The notable feature on Monday's trading has been the evisceration of short-term interest rate contracts, with December 22 futures down about 6.5 basis points. This is not stuff of happy, clappy equity price action at the best of times, but particularly when it implies that central banks might have to rate hikes because they have to, not because they want to. All right. Well, we'll see how things end up going for these central bankers. All right, we got 3 minutes to opening bell. Let's take a look at Jim Cramer's got anything exciting to say.
Talking about Adam Aaron, the CEO. You wanted numbers? Here are numbers, really encouraging numbers. And yes, he is showing you some numbers that shows you that they are finally on the rebound back to where they were in February 2020, some 20 months ago. Domestic industry box office gross is more than 300 million. Biggest total, a couple days. Weekend numbers are just extraordinary. They're on the rebound. October's been very, very strong.
Yeah. So he's talking about Adam Aaron here from AMC. I'm interested to see if we saw any tweet from him. Let's see here. Oh yeah, praise be. October praise be. This is like what's that show called? May the Lord open, right? What is it? The women wearing the red. Why can I not think of this right now? Now, whatever. Somebody remind me. But anyway, October movie ticket sale results show cinemas are finally on the rebound. First 2 weeks of October, quote, domestic industry box office grosses are more than 300 million and biggest 14-day total since February of 2020. Nice. Handmaid's Tales. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, good. Yeah, I don't know. Every time I go to the movie theater, it still feels a little empty. But if the numbers are going up, the numbers are going up. I like it. All right. So we're getting a little bit of a rebound on Ethereum right now. Let's go ahead and jump on in here. Yeah, there you go. See this? You see this bounce off about 36.75. This is on the minute chart here. If I go out to about the 30-minute chart, we can see we previously hit about 36.52 as a low here, and just hit about 36.75. Now rotating back up through this resistance line here at just about 37.60. All right, we are now getting really close. 30 seconds to the bell. DQ back to 65. Tesla's over 1%. Let's see if it lasts on the open. It is having a beautiful trend rally here. Wonder if we're going to get above that 880 level. But anyway, look at this. It's setting up for a nice open. And then, yeah, we'll see what's going on with Affirm and some of these others as well. Actually, let's do a quick look. We got a few seconds here. Affirm. Oh, Affirm's doing a similar rally. Let's see if it lasts. Here we go. Let's get the bell. Woo! And a sip of coffee.
Let's get to the opening bell and the CNBC Real-Time Exchange. At the big board, it's Abbott celebrating its health sciences and nutrition partnership with
right.
Real Madrid Football Club and Foundation. At the NASDAQ, it's Enjoy Technology, a technology-powered service platform.
Look how red that is.
Its listing via SPAC.
Oh, that's like 80+% red. Ay. But yet, what do you have here? Affirm is green candling. Very nice. How about Tesla? It is also trying to green candle. Oh my gosh, it went to 854 for a second there. Affirm went positive. Macy's, nice big green candlestick here. Roblox up, nice. Corsair Gaming trying to figure its life out at up about a third right now. Yeah, let's get rid of the pre-market over here. Let's get rid of this. There we go. Let's see the changes. Volatility sitting about 9% right now. We've got Camber up 3.2. Tesla now 1.5. Oh my gosh, Tesla's rallying right now. It is at 855 right now. We've got, I wonder how Tesla's volatility has been. I mean, lately it's just been, I know it's been pretty low, but the last 3 days it started rotating up. Let's see here, HVG. Okay, so, I mean, this is crazy. Tesla just hit 858, but it is back to 855 right now. 857 now. It's got a lot of attention here, and so does Affirm. Gosh, it's so weird because I've made the comparisons on the channel that Affirm is the Tesla fintech, and then a lot of people got mad at me. They're like, "Yeah, you don't compare to Tesla." Okay, Space or Virgin Galactic down 19.1%. Redfin down 3.9%. Yeah, the other real estate firms not cheering the Zillow exiting the market. Actually, a lot of concern being expressed for the others here. Coinbase down 1.9. So Outlet actually turned negative, 1.8. Really still waiting for that FDA catalyst for them. That might take another couple months. Bitcoin, let's see here. Shift, Apple. A lot of middle of the road moves here, like Corsair down 0.6%, Lemonade down about 0.4%, Lululemon, Airbnb, these guys down about a third. A lot of things are down, but not terribly down. Etsy, Dave & Buster's down 0.1%, big deal. So things aren't super devastating, but we do have the indices down. Dow Jones about 0.53, S&P down 0.41, NASDAQ down 0.3. Still waiting for the Russ. And let's see here. Macy's 3.4. Tesla's really sitting around that 857, kind of holding on to that 857 right now. Affirm and DocuSign up similarly here. Affirm about 1.34, DocuSign 1.21. Lucid 146. Wynn Resorts 1. Enphase 0.62 to the upside. It's at 174 right now. Nice. Etsy just went green to 0.41. And Peloton's flat. Okay. Canoes down 2.4. Matterport down 1.43. Square's actually down. Affirm broke apart from Square again. All right. Let's go see what we've got in terms of some headlines. Yeah, Tesla's volatility is starting to go back up. Good for those options, if you've got options in them. And let's see what other headlines we have here. All right. Well, let's close some of the other things that we looked at together. Go back to Bloom. All right. Yeah, Upstart got downgraded. Colin Powell died. 84. Schumer nears make it or break it moment with Biden agenda. Yeah, no kidding. If they're actually going to get these deals through, it'll be amazing. There we go. Get rid of that ad. All right, let's see what we got. So, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer faces staggering policy challenges. Yeah, no kidding. Schumer has set an end-of-the-month deadline to break a deadlock between amongst Democrats. Yeah, good luck. Pretty split the Dem party right now, which doesn't surprise me. While Nancy Pelosi also has to manage party divisions on Biden's plan, Schumer must deal with McConnell and Republicans minorities that can throw roadblocks in front of the rest of the Democratic agenda. From here on, it's only going to get more difficult. Geez, well, it's already been pretty hard. Yeah, the country did not give Democrats a big majority. I mean, it was a very, very, very short leash. All right. China property and energy crisis deliver blow to GDP growth. Well, duh. This is what we were saying earlier when the numbers came in low. It's like, well, yeah, of course, numbers are going to come in low for GDP growth when you've got the Evergrande crisis. I mean, I don't know why that seems like a surprise to the market. It's very odd. Volvo is looking to raise 2.9 billion in a Stockholm IPO, a test for the automaker. ANKR coin. I don't know what the heck that is. Here's a $10. What is this? What are your thoughts on the Stronghold Digital Mining IPO? Well, golly, I didn't have any thoughts, but now that you're asking me, Stronghold Digital Mining Inc. SDIG. That's a decent ticker. Yeah, so pending listing. I look at security description, it literally says NA. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not a big fan of IPOs, but yeah, they're gonna offer 5.88 million shares, looking at pricing between 16 to 18. Is that happening today, or when is this thing an IPO? Well, who knows? But yeah, I like owning crypto direct over the miners. If I wanted options, I'd probably go for Michael Saylor's MicroStrat. So you're paying a big premium, in my opinion, for the miners themselves. Don't get me wrong; they've done very well, and in some cases, they've actually outpaced crypto gains. Certainly, when they get super oversold, like when they're Bitcoin pain times, that's when the miners just get way oversold. So anyway, look at that. Affirm now up 2.3%. But yeah, that'd be something to look more into. DCRC. They're a SPAC with talking about solid state batteries. Sounds like another QuantumScape. I don't know. Solid state batteries, I think, still have a ways to go. But it'd be interesting to keep an eye on. It's not battery tech isn't something that I'm ready to invest in yet, especially the solid state stuff. I just think it's too early. Too early. If somebody actually gets something that functions, that'll be interesting. Look at Zillow, down 9.15%. And Upstart finally having a little bit of a reality check, down 6.5%. Not that I'm cheering people potentially losing money. I mean, the thing has done so amazing. But it's been such a strong mover that and its valuation has continued to get stretchy. There's so many traders in it. I've been wondering when we were going to see a little bit of pressure to the downside on it, just to give folks an opportunity to buy again. My goodness. Tattooed Chef sitting at 1730, plummeting like a rock. I guess people are done with the frozen foods. Cheesecake down 1.71. Some of the let's open. Hold on. There we go. Some of the recovery stocks have honestly been confusing me a little bit. Yeah. Look at this. Cheesecake's heading to its August lows, which I wonder if that means Dave & Buster's is as well. Because if Cheesecake and Dave & Buster's get to these August lows, they could be buying ops again. You know? So Dave & Buster's, for example, right now is at 36.86. They got to 30.96, and we've kind of been trending in that direction. So similar here with Cake. You look at Cake, and you're at 40.72 as a low, and we're at 42.50 right now. So some of these are definitely revisiting, or on the trend to revisiting a December low. Could be very interesting how that evolves. Oh, which, by the way, in 11 days, because there's been so much inflation, the price goes up for the amazing programs on building your wealth. I've got a lot of alerts coming out because I've got to work on selling calls and actually selling some shares because I want to pay down some of that margin. So if you're interested in buy-sell alerts, either on crypto or stocks, make sure to check out the Stocks and Psychology of Money program along with the lectures. That link's down below. And, of course, you can get up to $70 for free by going to mettkevin.com/public. mettkevin.com/public. You get up to $70 totally for free by signing up, and they'll give you one absolutely free stock. Look at this. Enphase. Let's go. Enphase, 2.5%, sitting at 177. Affirm just broke 150 again, sitting up almost 1%. Very, very nice. Good moves here. Lucid's up 3.6. Tesla, oh my gosh. Tesla's up almost 2% right here. What a run this one's having. I think we're going to break right through 880 here. We've got a support line at about 880. After 880, you should see a breakthrough right through. That the next test is going to be 904, and if we break through 904, Tesla's going to be very interesting to watch. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. We'll see. I mean, we've got earnings coming up on the 20th, which is Wednesday for Tesla. That's going to be a pretty big day for Tesla. But there could be a lot of excitement between now and then. I mean, you've got today, you got tomorrow, you got Wednesday, day. It's going to be fascinating. A lot of tech just ripping right now, though. Tech and higher vals like NEO, 1.51%, X being up at 1.51%. DocuSign's up 1.59. Very nice. It's interesting how Facebook's up, but Google and Apple are down. Palantir's taking 1%. Feels like things are getting a little bit more green here intraday. Let's look at the SPY. See if we've gone green yet. Nope, still down 0.47. And the movement intraday on the SPY has actually been negative. Yeah, we kind of rotated down a little bit here on the SPY. Not so exciting. And Disney down 2.5. All right, so looking at other news here. Yeah, LSID's doing well. It's crazy. All right, looking at top news. Okay, we talked about factory output. Hedge funds. Hedge funds add S&P 500 bets as retail still wary. Zillow tumbles. Saw that. Bitcoin. Let's see. That's boring. Fed stats. Okay, we saw that. All right, yeah, we kind of covered a lot of the Bloomberg news. Let's go back to Barron's. Let's see what we got over here. And, we can also see, I've done this in a while. Oh, no, they're a commercial. Okay, jerks. All right. So let's see. Okay, we saw this with the China growth slipping. Okay. Tech earnings will be dominated by shortage talk. Investors beware. Well, it's going to be very interesting to see how earnings are. In fact, this week we have 72 companies reporting earnings for what it's worth. 72 companies are reporting today. I'm sorry, not today, this week. This morning we had Albertsons, but this afternoon we're going to get Steel Dynamics and PacWest Bancorp, Science. Now, today's not going to be a very fun earnings day. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. Tomorrow, before the bell, you're going to have Johnson & Johnson, Bank of New York Mellon, Procter & Gamble, Halliburton. Those will be interesting for inflation. After hours, you have tomorrow Netflix, United Airlines, WD-40. I always think it's interesting that WD-40 is actually a company. Like, I mean, I know it's a company, but I always thought it was like a product of another company. But it's they're their own. So then Wednesday morning we got Verizon, Anthem, and after hours on Wednesday, the big one obviously Tesla, IBM, Las Vegas Sands, HP, Kinder Morgan. Thursday, AT&T, Southwest Airlines, Ally Financial, Snap, Intel, Chipotle, Boston Beer. Whirlpool will be interesting. Mattel, those are your inflation supply issue stocks right there. So, all right. Oh, well, it's going to be fascinating. All right, what do we got over here? So, tech earnings will be dominated by shortage talk. Yeah, I mean, people, by the way, the biggest thing folks are looking for right now in Tesla earnings is margin, specifically because of those inflation fears. JP Morgan expects Bank of England to raise rates by 15 basis points in November and then 25 basis points in February and August. Wow. That is now an expectation of a rate increase in the United Kingdom this year, folks. This year for a rate increase by the Bank of England per JP Morgan. I wonder how that's going to affect the yields. Let's see. Yields. Yeah, we're at 1.62 now on the 10-year. Do wonder if we're going to get a little movement here. on the day chart. Zoom in. All right. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. You get a little jump right here. Immediate jump on the 10-year yield in America after this JP Morgan call that we're potentially expecting a rate increase this year by the Bank of England. Yikes. All right. We got, let's see here. How easy would this be for me? Okay, I've been meaning to try to do this because I think it'll be interesting. Let me see here. Can I just do this? And then I want to read that article. Okay, let me see if I can. There we go. Give them a listen here. Yeah. But can you hear that when I do that? Okay, like, can you hear them as long as they're not paused? Just give me a little heads up there. Yeah, I just want to see if we test that really quick to see if y'all can hear that. I mean, I can hear it, but I don't know. No sound. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I was worried about that it's not putting sound in separately. Okay, thank you for that. So I have to work on that. Darn it. That's all right. I'll figure it out. Thank you. All right. So, all right. 10-year is not actually pumping too terribly much. So we had an initial kind of reaction of a pump up, but then a little bit of a decline there, a little bit of a pullback. So then let's see this article here. Tech earnings will be dominated by shortage talk. Investors beware. All right. If tech earnings season is upon us, and this time the story is all about the sum of the parts or the lack thereof, current shortage of components, finished goods, manufacturing capacity, and affordable shipping options will likely be addressed on every tech earnings call. Well, yeah, more than a few companies are going to post disappointing results. Some investors will sell. Bargains will be created. Oh my gosh! Wow, you have some real potential drama, according to Barron's over here. Let's see here. We'll try this. All right. This past week, Apple shares wobbled after Bloomberg reported Apple had slashed production of the iPhone 13. And thanks to tight supplies from various chips from both Texas Instruments and Broadcom, no quick solutions for bottlenecks. Electronic manufacturers in Vietnam, Malaysia, and the Philippines have reduced output in the face of strict workplace and travel rules tied to the pandemic. And then there's shipping costs. Costs for air, rail, and sea have soared. That all means higher costs, leaving manufacturers and retailers with an unpleasant choice. Absorb the costs, which lowers margins, or raise prices and make those customers pay more. Yeah, I like that one. As any stock investor would say, not an actual consumer. In Apple's case, tighter iPhone supply could still impact short-term financial results, and we're likely to see estimates come down by the time the company reports. All right, we'll see. Any supply shortage just pushes iPhone sales into future quarters. That's probably also true. Long-term damage to Apple is likely to be zero. In a full year of merger activity, one of the strangest developments was the recent collapse of Zoom's agreement to buy Five9, fast-growing provider of cloud-based call center software. Interesting. Transaction fell through, and Zoom shares proceeded to fall 25%. Ouch. All right. Let's see here. This is all about Five9 after that. Okay. Let's go take a look at the sticks again. Volatility is still sitting at about 1.28. Fuel cell is really what's taken off today. Look at this gap up. It's sort of this weird limitation showing up here by what's it called? Webull here, sort of capping these some of these shares there. I've seen this a few times now. All right, let's see if we can do another here. No. All right. So if we wanted Bloomberg, looks like I can now pull it like this.
Spending out of DC, yields will be pressured by that supply, and we're not going to get that bang for the buck that we need.
Isn't that one thing we know, though, Pete? The supply is going to drop off a little bit just as tapering begins.
Yeah, so I think those two will balance out each a little bit, but I am concerned that everyone's just too, okay with where yields are. Having said that, one thing we have not talked about in this, half hour today is what happens if yields go lower. I think the real big risk of the economy is something that really gives us a growth scare where yields go much lower because we're not going to get that global growth. And if that happens, it's going to be led by China. So I think we've got to keep watching China and what's going on there. And that's why we need the infrastructure spending here to offset the slowdown from China.
All it would take to talk about...
I know, but that infrastructure spending is not going to affect our economy for a while. I'm shocked by that. It's going to be a minute before we see that. Anyway, oh my gosh, look at Dutch Bros. Just out of nowhere, runs up 6.6%. Whoa. Good job, Dutch Bros. I mean, this is the stock you cannot stop. Look at that. We are running back to that 62 all-time high on Dutch Bros, sitting at 54.83. Folks, look at Affirm. Oh my gosh. Affirm 150, just hit a high of 152. That might be an all-time high. Hold on a sec. No, we did hit a high of 153.49 2 trading days ago. We are now sitting at 151.74, up 3.3% on Affirm. Let's go. And Enphase topping 177 now. Nice. And Tesla's up 2%, 860 on Tesla. Oh snap. You can't bet against this market right now. It's insane. NEO 1.59%. SoFi even went green. That's crazy. SoFi went green. NEO green. DocuSign 159 here. Etsy 144. Let's look at the SPY. See how the indices are pulling. Oh yeah, SPY just gapped up. It's only down 0.22 right now. It's incredible. Very, very nice. Yeah. Still to the downside, though. Ooh, Zillow down 11% now. Oh, Redfin down 4.35. Big oops on the real estate stocks. Ay. It's getting hammered. Ethereum sitting at 37.91. It's better than where we sat this morning. Frozen food aisle still getting screwed. Guess people don't care about snacks coming for Tattooed Chef. Dave & Buster's 1.46. So tempted to see this thing just go down so I can buy it at $30 again. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Wayfair's been having a rough time breaking apart from 240, sitting at 1.37 right now. Really struggling to get over 240. And it used to be the one that, consistently for months would just keep bouncing back to 300. Matterport right now down 0.64, but recovering. Let's look at the minute chart on Matterport. So it looks like it's coming up again. Yeah, it's a little tough to tell here. The chart looks a little messed up. So, Apple 0.48. Gosh, Apple 0.5% to the downside. That is recovering intraday though. Squarespace. All right. So let's see here. What's the MLive say? MLive. Bank reserve releases may be inflating the S&P 500 views. Another quarter of big reserve releases at top banks may once again be skewing sentiment about the broader market. In general, when reported earnings beat consensus estimate, there's a correlation between the S&P 500 performance. Bank earnings per share beat this quarter, topping misses. While they account for disproportionately a large amount of the index's earnings per share, financials make up 11% of the SPY by weight, but 20% of the EPS. Okay, this could be good news for stocks across the board. However, those bank beats may also be reflecting the large amounts that have been previously set aside for souring loans. Take JP Morgan, for example. The bank reported third quarter recovery credit losses of $1.5 billion versus an estimate of $17.9 billion. Yeah. They're making the argument here that banks set so much money aside for losses during the pandemic that and they wrote those off and are now taking those back, recognizing them as earnings and potentially artificially inflating how well the market's doing to start off earnings season. They're basically trying to throw shade at earnings season right now. I don't know how I feel about that. Just don't know how I feel about that. All right. Oh, that's CNBC. All right. What do we got over here? Let's listen in.
So we're trying to figure out what's happened to Zillow. Zillow said that they're not going to be, they're on hold for their home buying project. Remember, Zillow changed its model, and they do more than just prurient. What's my price of my house? And they've been buying. They had acquired 3,800 homes in the second quarter. So the question is, are they pausing because of some technical problems? Or are they pausing because how much inventory do you really want to carry? If housing, like our friend Ivy Zellman says, who was on last week and really the dean of the group, is peaking. So I thought that this was a very important call, because if Zillow says it's just technical, fine. But if it's worried about inventory, then maybe that 22% up housing last year, 60% supposed to be up next year. Maybe it's time to rethink the housing as the greatest story ever told.
That would have big implications for the builders.
Leave it to Jim Cramer to say it's time to rethink the housing sector while Zillow's down 11%. Don't worry. He'll be interested in housing again as soon as it's green. But yeah, I do see Cloudflare, by the way. This is just an incredible play on cybersec. I had this was one of the ones that I was wanting to enter around the time I entered a firm. Sadly, I didn't load up on both. I picked a firm which has done phenomenally as well. But boy, Cloudflare has just been killing it here. Expected to go profitable in 2023, trading with negative net revenue right now of about 36 million in 2021 estimated. Expecting in 2024 though to really have some explosive growth to get to 1.6 billion in revenue. That's almost 3x where we sit now. So the next few years are going to be some big old growth. Really impossible to do any kind of forward PE calculation on this. We don't have any net negs or net revenue or net income numbers for 2024 or 5, at least projections wise. But yeah, it has been on a run with the tech rally here. iPhone 13s as Christmas gifts. Yeah, good luck getting them right now. I wonder how far the iPhones are booking out right now if we were to try to get one. I always like using that as sort of a way to gauge demand and inventory. So if I go right now, we'll be right back. We're making updates to the Apple Store. Check back soon. I can't look at the inventory if they're going to make updates. Did the NASDAQ tech just go green? Nice. Let's see here. All right. And, oh yeah, look at that. Volatility falling. NASDAQ goes green. S&P 500 is ready to go green. And Dow Jones Industrial only down 0.3, was down a lot more a little bit ago here. Mr. McConnell has told colleagues that he is concerned with Mr. Trump's campaign to relitigate the 2020 election and could depress confidence amongst Republican voters. Ooh. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Here we go. View it. Really? I have a Tesla service, by the way, and it's very, very cool. I had a little notification that my 12-volt battery needs to be replaced. So I opened up my app, and it immediately popped up as something that I could just click on my phone and schedule a mobile service for. So I clicked like 2 buttons, and it's like, cool, you're scheduled for tomorrow for your battery to be replaced. The 12-volt, small one. And now they sent me an estimate, and it says $0. I'm shocked. Why would they not charge me for that? I don't know. But anyway, your technician will arrive between 11:30 and 4. Oh, that's cool. All right. I'll take it. Is Bitcoin pumping? Let's go take a look at the coins. Let's see here. 61.5 on BTC, Ethereum 37.89, Cardano 214, and Dogecoin 25 cents. There we go. All right, look at you. Cloudflare 3%, 3% on Affirm. Enphase is almost 3%. Little bit of a relaxation there for a moment. Still 2% though on Tesla. Very good. Very, very, very good. I like, see, these are the times Well, I just like watching the green. Just watch the green. Don't do anything. Let's listen in over here for a moment.
You can see that with the 5-year up by about 3 basis points. The knock-on effect to the equity market, though, still relatively muted. The S&P only down 0.1%, and the cyclicals are the ones, no surprise, that are outperforming. You have energy, you have consumer discretionary, and you have financials as well. Oil still higher, that really helping to propel that part of the index higher. What's so interesting, Guy, and I'm sure we'll get to this over the next couple hours, is what's happening in the cable rate. You may have rates flying higher over in the UK, but you do not have that within sterling. The cable market, for example, not showing that, down 0.1%. We'll discuss what that means. Policy mistake? How do we interpret something like that?
It's really interesting because what we are essentially seeing is the market saying, you know what, we're in a position where we think both fiscal tightening and monetary tightening may actually have a negative effect on the market. It's going to be interesting. If we don't see progress in DC, could the US be seeing the same thing as well? The fiscal goes away, the monetary gets tightened. We are getting data out of the housing market. We saw industrial data that was a little weaker earlier on, Alex. Now we're getting data from the housing market, which has been rolling over recently and is now starting to show signs of life. So the National Association of Home Builders Housing Market Index, this is October data. So this is relatively new. This is a good read on what is happening. Pops back up to 80. It was projected to fall from 76 to 75, but we've got better numbers. So maybe signs of life in the housing market. We'll talk about the housing market a little bit later on in the program in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, with breaking down the likes of what we're seeing from Zillow there. All right, let's get
housing, people getting excited again. Woo! I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. Well, very exciting market. Look at that Lucid, 4.2%. Oh my gosh, Enphase just kicked butt. Now it's up 3.4% here on Enphase. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Good job, Enphase. One of my biggest holdings. Enphase, 3.36% right now. Enphase don't care about no supply shortages. And Affirm sitting at 151. Really, really, really nice. SoFi's almost $20. Let's go. This is amazing. Jeez. See, this is why we buy the dip. Oh, wow. Etsy now over 225. That's my hard stop for nibbling on Etsy. Oh, wow. I really think, and I think it's such a fascinating argument, but there's talk about Etsy being very, very exciting for the holiday season, because if there are supply shortages and delays, people can just buy stuff out of other people's garages, aka Etsy. Woo! I love it. Love it, love it. Simon Property Group up 1.49%. Nice. Simon Property Group, that's almost pre-pandemic highs. Maybe not pre-pandemic highs, but pre-pandemic prices. Oh, I love Cardano. Yeah, I see your comment there, Andrew. That's why Cardano's a big chunk of the portfolio. Neo, 1.56. Looking at the downside here. Let's go to the other side. Yeah, it's just still Zillow's getting destroyed. Carnival. Why is Carnival down 3? Why are some of the recoveries falling? I don't understand. Why? Why is Carnival down? I don't own any, but I'm curious. Carnival. There's no news. There's nothing. There's literally nothing. 3.15% on Carnival. Why? What? An Upwork. I don't understand some of these. Sheep, 27. But yeah, that's interesting. Hey, are we ever going to see Carnival? Ooh, Carnival kind of breaking that trend line. Look at that. See, we had this trend line drawn over here of increasing prices, and we've now broken that trend line. I wonder if we're going to come back under 20. I'm waiting for some of these recovery stocks to sell off more. I mean, I don't know why they're selling off, but I'll tell you. I will take it. Corsair is still down 1.53% here. All right, let's look at the upside here. All right, Lucid 4.69. Yeah, this has been pretty stable on this side here. Affirm, Tesla, Enphase. These guys have all just been kicking butt, and they've been holding nicely. All right, what's Bloomberg Intelligence got to say to us? What do you got?
we're going to be looking for is sub 4% GDP growth in the fourth quarter of this year. That should take full year GDP growth just around about 6%, which is fine. But, we're looking for the PBOC to come in. We're expecting a 50 bip triple R cut, but we may be waiting for Godot at that point.
Yeah, this, by the way, good point right here. Golden Hammer HD says in the comments, it's just a rotation and attack. You might be exactly right about that. Very, very, very correct on that. I believe it's that people are becoming more accepting of sitting at higher inflation levels. And honestly, like, we had a conversation last week where, like, we were asking each other, we're like, hey, so what if the Fed's like, hey, guys, we thought we wanted our target for inflation to be 2%. Now we want it to be 3%. And the Fed's basically just like, okay, well, like, how would we respond to that, right? I feel like we'd be like, okay, cool. It's a little bit higher. Like, all right, big deal. It's not like we're hyperinflating, right? Like, would we not buy Tesla because, oh my gosh, inflation's 1% higher? Like, I don't know that anybody cares. Biden concedes economic plan. Hold on, what's this?
A lot of debate regarding this reconciliation package. And one of those key themes is the climate aspect of that reconciliation package. North of $100 billion was supposed to be used to set up this clean electricity grid. The idea was to give money for utilities to switch from oil, gas, and coal to things like solar and wind, and potentially just lowering those emissions, doubling the cleaner use of electricity by the end of the decade. This is a huge win for the Biden administration. Supposed to be on the international stage. A good point going into Scotland, if he can go in empty-handed or not. But we learned over the weekend that Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia, which is definitely a coal-heavy state, says he cannot sign up for this. So it's a huge blow for the Biden administration, both domestically when it comes to this economic agenda, and really he ran on a climate platform, but also internationally if he goes into these talks with really not having the goods to meet those standards.
All right, Bloomberg's Emery Hordern, thank you very much for that.
There goes Manchin strikes again. A lot of people are happy about it. A lot of people are upset about it. Lucid 4.57. We just keep going here. This market's just not giving up. Look at that. SoFi now over 20. Let's go. Oh man, we are getting another push here. Another push. Cloudflare now up 3.94%. Let's go. It's amazing. I'm gonna end up FOMOing into this one. And I'm calling it. So I usually don't do that though. SoFi up 3.6%. Look at that climb. I mean, golly, gee whiz. Oh, Open Door. Really excited about taking that the sale off of Zillow here. Look at that enthusiasm on Open Door, 3.62%. Very, very nice. Enphase. Oh my gosh, we're almost at 180 again on Enphase. We're back over 80 on Trade Desk. Tesla now 2 1/3. Are you serious? Holy smokes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 2 1/3 right now on Tesla. And Affirm sitting at about 2 1/3 as well. Wow. A little softening there on Affirm intraday, but still pretty nice. Yeah, Zillow's still down 10.5%. It's interesting how Open Door is up, but Redfin's down on this. Because you'd think Redfin and Open Door would move together in response to Zillow having some bad news. Oh well. Matterport, where are we? Only down about 0.5%. That's another one that should be up here rallying with SoFi. Oh well. All right. Any other news? What other news we have? Because we got to get to a course member live stream so we can do Q&A together. I know it's really difficult not to buy. When the market's going up, it just makes you feel like, oh, it's so easy to just keep buying. But hey, look, there are plenty of discounts. Just look at Tattooed Chef. Or maybe that's just what it's worth. I don't know. We did draw this line over here that we're hoping to see it cross, because you have sort of these bottoms that it keeps hitting. See, look at that. Bottom, 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 bottom. And we're trending towards another potential bottom over here. And in my opinion, that could be a buying op. As a trade, I mean, who would, for the love of God, who would hold Tattooed Chef? trade it. But anyway, so wow, Cloudflare just keeps going. It's amazing. Yeah, the dip buying's paying off. No kidding. Lots of dip buying that we did. I blew all my money. It's a problem. Like I had nothing left. Blew it all. All right. Let's try Bloomberg for a moment again.
Investors, to most extent, buying the dip. Joining us now is Lisa Shallon,
That's
Morgan
right.
Stanley Wealth Management.
We did buy the dip. Boom.
You got these higher yields anywhere you look in the curve, really led over by the UK. Can you still buy equities right now?
So look, we're very, very cautious. And in particular, we're cautious on the index itself. We like to be active stock pickers because we do think that over the past 3 or 4 months, we have seen a rolling correction, particularly in small caps and value-oriented stocks and cyclical stocks. And so we're picking stocks there. But as far as the index,
She's basically saying buy Corsair. Let's try CNBC.
Secular shift, I think, is going to remain.
The cyclical. How many times have I now heard this? It's cyclical shift, cyclical shift, cyclical shift. They're all saying the same thing. Boring. All right. All right. Anything else? No. Boring. All right. Yeah. What are Michael Burry's thoughts? I don't know. I hope he closed all his shorts. Loser. All right, folks. I think about does it. Check out the program's link down below. Use that coupon code because there's so much inflation happening. The price has just been going up and up and up and up. You may as well just get in and lock in that lifetime access to the programs. Link down below on building your wealth, from real estate investing to stock investing and those private course member live streams with me where we get to do Q&A together every day. The market is open. I'm going to go over to that live stream right now. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.